Well, good morning all. Good morning. We're out here getting this project kicked off, not necessarily officially. We already did our groundbreaking. We cut in the building pad. The survey company has been out here. I'm a big proponent of hiring a surveyor to actually lay out the house. These houses, unless you're doing a perfect rectangle, are increasingly complicated. So what we do is we hire them to set reference points and set pins that represent the building corners, like this pin right here, and like these points here. They're called control lines, and they're assigned a number. So basically what that means is the foundation guy can come in, he can pull a straight line on these points, and then he can go ahead and start digging his footings and foundations. So that basically makes it a lot easier and puts the responsibility of the house being perfectly located on the survey company. And their instruments are very, very close to almost perfect. I think the variance that they've told me is like 1/16 of an inch. So it actually works out really good as far as that goes. We did get a little bit wonky here. The house actually got located in this grassy area, so it's actually outside of what we have already excavated, because the owners had done a preliminary layout and we did some cutting of the grade based on where they had spotted the house, but it actually ended up being outside the footprint. Overall, on this entire foundation footprint, we're looking at a total slope of about 16 inches from the high point to the lowest point, so our foundation will have a couple of step downs. We did cut into the hill bank, and the main reason why we cut in the hill bank was twofold. We did it so that we could get a bunch of extra fill dirt over there, and it also, from the road and aesthetically, it will look like the house is actually sitting into the ground a little bit. It won't be like a house sitting up on a giant foundation wall when it's all said and done. And also, where we have our driveway coming in, it'll flow in correctly. If we had raised the house up, then there would have been necessary to either bring the ground up out here, or they would have had to have more steps from the garage floor into the house level. As it is right now, we've worked it out so that there's only 4 steps into their house, which is a total of, about 24 inches. So, because each step should be about 7.5 inches tall. So that kind of does that. Also, when we're doing these things, these sites, we like to do our excavation and keep the site very clean. It makes it easier for everyone to understand what's going on. I have a theory when it comes to construction sites. I like a clean job site because clutter clutters the mind. When you have all these little piles of dirt everywhere, if you were to just dig it out and leave it everywhere, it kind of clutters it clouds your field of thought. It gives you something else that distracts your attention away from the job at hand. Sounds crazy, but it's actually scientifically proven. But anyway, the concrete guys are here. They're going to start doing their actual physical layout and get set up. And we're going to get to digging some footings today. We are a little bit concerned about this back corner over here because we're down. You can see like little bits of rock that would be defined as shale. And since we're up on the Sequatchie Valley's mountain side, the south side of Pikeville, there's a lot of shale in this area. So we did hit shale. It's not too bad, but we'll find out when they get to digging with the Mini X. Breaking it up isn't too big of a deal. The complication becomes more how loose the shale is, and whether or not we're going to need some flowable cementitious fill in order to stabilize the foundation when we pour the foundations. So that's kind of what's going on there. So we got good slope because it's a crawl space house. We got, like I said, about 18 or 16 inches of slope from the highest point to the lowest point. So we know that the water, if we're to get into the crawl space, will flow downhill. It has rained quite a bit over the last couple of days, and you don't see any standing water, so there's good moisture absorbent in the soil itself. And this house actually would be implementing an encapsulated crawl space, as well as waterproofing the foundation wall on this side and along that edge. So those two leading edges will be waterproofed, in addition to this back porch here that you can't tell right now, but there's a back porch that's going to retain grade, and that will actually be waterproofed as well. So I'm going to get with these guys. I wanted to give you a quick project update, and stuff is happening out here. We're going to start to make a quick work of it, hopefully, and you'll see a house pop up out of the ground pretty soon. Till then, peace out.